Hey guys, it's Tarkin with another game of hardcore Minecraft, and we're just gonna make more river. That's what's on the docket for the day. We're gonna make more river. A seed for Garuda, and it's back to the river, where most of our attention goes now. Hello, Light Holy. We got our new skeleton horses, of course. We can't leave him out there forever. But we also can't just, stop working on the river because we got some horses. Hello, Poison. How's it going? Welcome to my Minecraft hardcore world. What we're doing today is working on this river that I've been working on for a bit. Which, when we started, wasn't anything at all, but we're over here now, so we're just gonna keep on working that. We gotta get a wall around so the dudes don't get stuck and fall down, which there's like a village underneath here that I was working on. Some people fell down accidentally. I was trying to make the best of it, but well, one thing led to another, right? And I don't know what happened to them. I'm not trying to be ironic. One thing led to another, and I don't know what happened to them, but they're not there anymore. So you shaders, no, I should probably. People are always telling me that I should because my computer's good. But, alright, we should probably get more water. Oh, we just threw a bucket down. Not ideal. It's fine, though. So all we're doing here is buttressing the water flow. This is very important for the kelp formation, because you just get the flowing water out. I had been putting it on the walls a lot, which was just not ideal. Not ideal at all. This is much superior. And then once the kelp grows up around it, you can do another layer higher, or what have you. But it helps tremendously in getting things working. No, I meant to turn it up and then I switched the song. Alas, this song's good too. Oh, I know it was wrong. There's this little button on my headset control that says 7.1, and I think it just makes the speakers better, which is nice, the speaker inside of the headphones. Sometimes I forget to hit it and I think the volume's low, but it's just not the wonderful artificial 7.1 surround. How can it even be surround sound if it's two speakers attached to my ears? I don't know. I never know the answers to these kinds of things. I suspect it does not matter. But anyway, so what we're doing here is sort of making a mistake, which is we really should have a wall so our villagers don't fall down. I mean, how many are going to fall down, right? Well, the further we get over here, more of them, because almost everybody lives on this side of the river. But there is this house. I don't know how many people even live here. One person lives here. We could probably just solve this whole problem, huh? Because if literally just one guy lives on that side, then easy. We got room for more beds in here? Not particularly. That one house had nothing but space. Of course, the scholars aren't interested in anybody else coming around. This house has more room. Yes. We'll carry a yellow bed with us. That should be nice. Okay, and we handed the villager the bed by accident? I guess that can happen. It's alright. No, it fell on the ground and now it's back in my hand. Curiouser and curiouser. Anyway, we've got the librarians in there. They're very happy inside here. And also, it keeps them from, you know, getting into mischief. After all, once you get a guide that can give you a mending book, you never know when you'll need another one. Now, I had a wall here. Now, maybe we won't need one? Question mark? You know, if they fall down, we'll just make the best of it, right? What a terrible thing it would be if we got some more villagers that happened to arrive at the bottom. But still, an entirely unsafe working zone does not seem ideal, does it? And obviously we must spare the track. So I'll probably go underneath this layer. That way we won't have to move the boxes that have been there for like a very long time and don't deserve to be displaced by this. Hello, Green Machine. How are you? Oh yes, great. So it's almost already chipped away there. That makes sense because this would have been more of a chasm and I was the one who originally unchasmed it. I remember now, vaguely. So the path was down there. I feel like, yeah, I helped these people out at some point before I started lording over everything and cracking through the world and cutting down all the trees. You know, I vaguely remember a long time ago at the start of this world where we did some good stuff for this village. But now, it's all river all the time. Hopefully they will like the river as much as I am going to like the river. And we'll just, you know, we'll work on what that aesthetically is going to look like, maybe. It doesn't matter. Oh no, I broke the rail, the most valuable thing in the whole world. Alright, everything's better now. Who is whooping around my village? Unthinkable. You have whooped your last, sir. I defy you. Show yourself! I hate Endermen. They bug me so much. They're always moving my stuff. I mean, I don't hate them the most, but I don't like them. So we can make like a really nice bridge over it when we're done. But I mean, you can't build a bridge and then build a river around the bridge. I mean, you could. You could, but I'm not gonna do that. Who would? Nobody would do that. You know, there's just gonna be another portal hanging out in the air here now. You know, we tried to protect the people from it, but... Is there anyone that lives around this other side of it? Are there like golems in here or something? There are golems in here or something. That's right, these two golems and these two beds that probably have, you know, when I think about it, maybe that's why people keep on trying to walk over here, because they're trying to bind to those two beds. And that was the source of all of the people getting lost all those times. Maybe. They sure don't seem to be around here anywhere. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm sure it's not really my fault. It's probably not my fault. Maybe long term we'll just like put walls around the rail track to, you know, to stop people from walking over it. They are wont to do that after all. Because we don't really have to go too deep here. The river doesn't have to be super deep the whole way in. And in fact, it may be somewhat easier to not do that. But we definitely need this to be a little bit under the level here. So it's got to be deep enough to like have like some sea turtle beaches here by the side, you know, for example. And inventory's full. Of course it is. It's always full. One of these boxes won't be full. Which one? Hey, Manicman, how's it going? We are living our dreams. I mean, relatively. Most of the dreams. All of the river-related ones. No, we shouldn't put the saddle there. We should put it in this box where it doesn't belong, but where we'll see it. Like we probably thought with that saddle there. Makes a lot of sense. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Just having a good old time. Did I get rid of my pork chops? Oh, no, I'll need them. I probably did, but here's some more. But once you get the water there just for a bit, then you can get rid of, you know, the blocks that are in the way due to the fun way that water works. Which I actually am just so enamored and fascinated with the water physics. One of my very first projects. Hello, Kareem. I'm doing just fine. How are you? One of my... Oh, no, they're all falling down now. Well, I guess that solves the problem of how we'll get people to go too far down here. You know, I'm not going to worry about it. They're going to... You know, everybody's got to learn sometime. Look, I elected to not build a wall around it, and I know villagers are curious, so, you know, maybe they'll walk into the nether portal. They used to do that. They used to do that stuff before I put the fence up. No, we'll just leave one level there and probably remember not to mess with it. Probably. But so the good thing about this segment of the river, right, is that this chasm here, we'll look at it from above to illustrate the future plans. So everything we've dug thus far up to like right here, we had to dig all of this, right? And then as we got to like right here, we had a natural chasm that we opened up. But here we continue on with that a little bit there. And then we've got this, which we can make into a beautiful lake, and then, you know, the waterfall at the end that'll terminate that segment of the river. But it shouldn't take too much. You know, we're just gonna dig a bunch, but not like, not over much. Probably not as much deep digging through all of that, and we'll probably just sort of have more shallows here with more aesthetic stuff going on. but with just a little bit of kelp and a little bit of time, it's pretty wonderful what you can make happen in the realm of river formation. This is the first river I've ever built. I've built like canals and stuff. In fact, that was one of my very first projects. What's going on the screen? Yeah, I've been having trouble with my internet, and I don't... It started popping up like yesterday. I'm sorry if it's like a bad experience. I turned everything off and on again. You know, I did that, but I don't know. But I'm sorry about that. It's not my computer. It's definitely something with the network. But as I've mentioned a bunch, you know, I did lose power the other day, and they had to get a new whole telephone pole in, so I lost power and internet and stuff. So it's possible that something got, you know, twisted instead of twirled or whatever. I'm not an electrician. I believe twisting and twirling are two of their primary job roles. In addition to digging, they had to dig like a lot of holes. I'm just real happy to have my internet again. It's like I have a bunch of hobbies that don't involve the internet, but I'm the kind of guy where once I decide what I want to do, that's the only thing that'll do, right? So the fact that I could do other stuff is totally immaterial. You can't distract me from my original plans. Relatively focused, that's me. Because, like, all I wanted to do was work on this river, and then I couldn't. And I sat around and sulked and read a book like an animal. Oh no, this fellow has fallen down in here. Come with me if you want to live. This is just terrible. I can't believe he fell down here. Oh no. Oh no. How could you have possibly fallen down here? Terrible. Anyway, I have placed a bed over here. It is made to your exact specifications. Alright, where's the sunken city proper? Just right around the wall here. Well, what will become the sunken city? Yeah, so we can just link it up there. Have they showed up again? Nope. But anyway, so we had a whole... Like, a lot of people fell out here genuinely by accident. And those are their old beds, but then they all disappeared one day. This horse, cave horse, we haven't named it or fed it apples yet, but we made this nice thing here, and we gave it some straw to lay down on, and some wheat to eat, in addition to some grass and some nice water. And cave horse is very happy down here. I do not know what happened to all the people, though. We looked around. I tried to block it off so that they, like, you know, had plenty of light, but wouldn't drown or whatever, but, you know... I don't know what I'm doing, and they probably drowned. But yeah, we definitely need another sunken city for this guy, and as it happens, I bet he is going to discover that this bed is, like, right here, and how cool that is. Ah, look! Yes, another place for a bed, indeed. Anyway, you hang out here, buddy. And I'll... look for wood in a bag to make a door? Oh, this isn't gonna work. Look, buddy, you hang out. I'll be back. So while there definitely is wood somewhere, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I know where it is. I don't want to lie to you. Wait, no, not into that one. That's a terrible place to put all this stone. We should put the cobblestone into an auto smelter so that we can pretend that we want it to turn into stone and then it will get out of the inventory for a little bit. Great plan. We need that bed. That's our bed. Why am I trying to put that bed up? I can plant trees underground. You know, I think I knew that and yet I never do it. I definitely need to do that. I know you can plant trees in the nether. No, because I think I planted, like, for my lush cave in the last world, in World 334, we did some trees there. But yeah, I very rarely do. I don't know why. I don't know why. It seems like a thing I would like, doesn't it? Well, it looks like that guy is there. And it looks like this guy is falling down. That's just terrible. Well, either he'll work it out or he won't, right? Man, this is... I just love this world so much. I'm glad I finally started, like, making stuff, even though it's like, you know, it's not so much of a what I'm working on, you know, it's still... I'm glad I finally built things. I mean, like, you know, I have my little railway and stuff, and, like, you know, little stuff here and there, but it's nice to actually be making a mark. And eventually, like, I plan on making it look like an actual real good river, and that'll be cool. If it works out. Is there a creeper there? Yes. You know, I constantly go through bouts of forgetting that, like, mobs are even in the game, or that I could theoretically be in danger. I mean, I'm not, but I could be, theoretically. See, everything's fine. They've even got a nice door to keep the cobwebs out, and some lanterns to burn above their heads forevermore. Now, yeah, I don't feel like doing it now, so we're just going to leave them down here and hope that they're fine. But we will pretty soon figure out the coordinates for this over here so we can connect them to that area. I mean, soon-ish. You know me. Maybe never. Look, I want to do it. That doesn't mean I'm going to spend my time doing it, though. We'll just agree that it is a nice thought, and then if it happens, it'll happen. Endermen whooping around. They're probably, you know, having a real bad time on account of the rain. That's how it is when you're an Enderman and quite allergic to water. Some days are more painful to whoop around than others. But, you know, I don't really pity them, given that they are always taking my stuff. And I would prefer if they did not do this thing, as you may imagine. It's just so nice to get all the kelp you could ever want. An enemy? Oh yeah, it's nighttime. It's like a thing they do. I'm always forgetting this. Awesome. Perfect. The only thing creepers are good for. Just fixing this water flow here real quick. It shouldn't take too long, right? Not there, yes there. Good, good. We could do like a little fisherman pond there eventually or something. You know, something. The little creeper additions are very nice, you know, they all want to help. I think that's very generous of them. Hello, Unlucky Shepherd. How's it going? We're just working on the river. It's going great. A skeleton shoots. That's absolutely outrageous. How dare he? And the villagers are just like upsetting themselves here. Can they drown in that amount of water? I mean, probably. Probably eventually. For their own protection, we need to just... Nope, won't work. They don't want to have anything for their own protection. We're just gonna have to let them, you know, do things their own way, right? Nah. Alright. They're safe in there. I'm like, how will we remember they're there? We'll remember, right? We'll just remember. Easy. Because, yeah, we'll probably remember, right? Do we have like a sea lantern or something? A door, that'll be good. Yeah, we'll put a couple of things there. And then a door. And the door will remind us to not leave them in there forever. They're fine. They don't need to, like, see the sun, right? I mean, villagers don't get vitamin D deficiency, right? Right? I don't think they do. I'm sure it's fine. They'll be okay. After all, villagers have gone through worse. Not from me, but from all of you monsters on the internet and your iron farms. What are you doing down here? What is a fine cartographer doing down here, of all places? Well, If he falls down all the way. Yeah, it's been explained to me that people have iron farms where they torment villagers with the presence of zombies. Anyway, we have 100% ethical treatment of villagers here, and if they happen to accidentally fall down somewhere where we happened to want to make an underground city anyway, that's just a thing that happens. But I mean, I find that I always have enough iron anyway. I mean, after you start. Sure, you sometimes need more, but you can just, like, go get it. It's super easy to go get more iron. Once you're established. I mean, once you can fly, what is it? You can just go get iron anywhere. The plan in the future for the world? Oh, you know, just nothing really. Just keep on playing it and seeing what I do. I had gotten sort of like listless and purposeless for a bit with it, because this is the first world where I ever, you know, like beat the dragon. This is the only world where I've ever beat the dragon. In fact, is in any difficulty is here. This is the world where I beat the Wither. You know, like this is the first world where I got Pig Step. But it was already like a super beautiful world whenever I began. I gotta say I'm streaming early today. Well, it's about midnight for me actually. And we are in the winding down section. So right over here where this cherry tree that we're flying towards is, that is this is like where Spawn was, right? And this mountain with all of its cherry trees and cherry groves was already here. There's my house there on the side. But so this river is just what I've been working on for the last like 40 end game days or so. I guess it's day 447 now. But yeah, I like railways and stuff, so I built a couple minor ones of those, and I've got over by my house. There's one that goes all the way through here, and I built this little artificial lush cave right there for the thing to go through, right? Just a little something, you know, nothing too fancy. But yeah, so we're just working on the river, and then I wanted to do like a bigger underground city for the folks that were down there. I love Spawn Mountain because it gives me an opportunity to do my favorite thing, which is look at the mountain goats. Hello, mountain goats. Now, you might be asking yourself, what is the best song by the mountain goats? Well, there are many schools of thought. We've been attacked by a mountain goat. Well, that reminds me of the great song Foreign Object from the album Beat the Champ, where it's like from the point of view of like a pro wrestling thing, and the chorus is like, I'm going to stab you in the eye with a foreign object. I personally will stab you in the eye with a foreign object. And anyway, it's very awesome. And that mountain goat attacking me reminded me of that song by the Mountain Goats. You ask if I think artificial intelligence will take our jobs or take over the world. Potentially yes to both of them. I mean, like, not in the incredibly short term, I don't think. It just depends on what jobs you're talking about. I mean, there are already people today who have a job that won't be a job in just a short amount of time because of advances in technology. And not to like split hairs, but like what we call AI commonly now is not what I would call, you know, artificial intelligence. It's machine learning, right? It's derivative rather than like a synthesis from existence. But certainly the potential to become far more human-like is there. I mean, if you just look at any number of things that computers are capable of now, chess is the one that comes to mind best, right? Because right now, anybody with a phone can have a chess computer in their pocket that's better at playing chess than anyone on the planet will ever be. There's no human that will ever again be better at chess because there's a chess AI that is better than all people, no matter what. It's the best. Stockfish is the best AI, but there's several of them that are. So, in that regard, right, we've already shown that in certain circumstances we can have a true AI. Like, these chess computers are thinking about what's going on in the game, right? But we don't watch computers play each other. We can, and people do, to like figure stuff out, you know. People still use the computers as a tool, but, and I don't watch chess content, but a lot of people do, and they're not watching computers, right? They're watching whatever personality they're into play chess. They're watching the best people in the world play chess, because the job, right, of being a chess player isn't diminished by the fact that there's a computer that's literally better at it than they are. Just like if a computer could throw a disc or a shot put in the Olympics, you know, we don't let it because we don't care. But for things that aren't like that, for things that are just the exploitation of labor, that aren't about expertise, and so people won't have romanticization of them. I mean, yeah. Technological advances are always like this. This one's a lot scarier, I think, philosophically, because it makes us ask problematic questions in a way that, like a sawmill wouldn't, right? Like, a sawmill stops people that want to just cut down trees and hand plane wood from doing it. But a sawmill is so functional that, you know, once people figure out how to make them, nobody wants to go back, right? Why don't I use TNT to blow up the river? I don't have enough TNT. I need all my gunpowder for my rockets for the Elytra. Yeah, no, I don't have like huge stores of gunpowder or whatever. I'm always using it because I like flying around and looking at my stuff. Before I discovered the Elytra, before I beat the game, right, I just had gunpowder and I just, you know, put it into my inventory because I never throw anything away, as all this junk shows. Creeper, no! I don't see one. Yeah, whenever I need gunpowder, I just do what we're gonna do here, right? And then just pop on over. But good point. We do need, there we go. We got our fortune sword. I'm really bad at killing creepers, so I invariably only do it with bows and arrows. I need to get flame on my bow. The funny thing about getting all your setup going on in hardcore is you do forget how to play the game right. Like, I haven't used a shield in so long, man. Well, I have, it's always a totem, is what I normally have in my offhand. So, because I'm bad at killing creepers, I use the sword in my main hand, so that'll let me have looting 3, right? Because you want looting, and that still does function while you have your bow out as well. So that's just a good way to, even if you're bad, be able to get plenty of gunpowder at range. Because otherwise, I mean, you get, I think, more than twice as much stuff. And I know I'm getting shot, I just don't care, it's not doing any damage. Oh no, I've fallen into the river and I can't get up. No, I can get up. No, I carry a shield with me. I never use it. It's been ages. It's just not necessary. Because when you have Prot 16 and full diamond, it's just not necessary. The only times you actually take damage are when you have your Elytra on, because you didn't realize you had your Elytra on. But yeah, I mean, you see how many arrows we got in us here, and we didn't even go down a single heart. All it does is make you lose saturation and then have to eat. I think saturation is the term. Oh, you've whooped your last, sir. Enderman, of course, hurt way more, so you will take a couple of hearts of damage from him. Zombie fight! Oh, the skeleton wins. This is not getting creepers. This is a waste of my time. I don't need more rotten flesh. Where are the creepers at? Alright, so we got 23 gunpowder out of that. With looting, you can get like a good chunk in just a night. Basically enough for like a stack is like pretty easy to do just casually, right? And then that'll do for a day or two. Or a few. We have like a ton of light pollution over by the house, but we still have this field largely unlit at all for basically this express purpose. At first it was because it was far enough away that I wasn't worried about the villagers, and now it's because I always need to farm up gunpowder. Oh no! The knockback. We might make a little pond there too. That seems like it would be good. The thing with the Elytra is you don't want to be wearing it when you get into fights. Like, it's pretty easy to do by accident, and it's so rough, right? Because you not only lose your huge amount of armor, what is it, like 8? Yeah, 8 armor from it, but you lose 4 levels of protection on top of that, which puts you just in a drastically worse position. Like, a zombie can hurt you. 4 zombies could actually really hurt you. But if you have your diamond on, if you've got your armor on, like a knight would have, then you don't have anything to worry about. For example, like 10 spiders could probably hit you for a while. We're just gonna lay down here. That's enough gunpowder. I'll go grab some paper real quick. we've got those aerodynamic arrows stuck in us. It's very important to have some extra arrows stuck inside of your armor. That's the only way to fly in a straight line very quickly. And I'm sure the villagers are safe there now. And I'm equally sure that it's not really my problem. They got themselves into that mess. They'll be fine. And we're not going to permanently forget about them. After all, the whole idea was to have people down there, and we used to, so we'll have it again. Because a little bit further under would be fine here, right? Because we need... Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be too far in, and then it can hit there and then fill up the lake. Yeah, we can definitely make it work with... We don't even need to go under this gravel layer. Man, with gravel at the bottom, it'll actually look like a normal place. Look at me working with my elytra, just like I said a person shouldn't do. Good night, Unlucky Shepherd. Thanks for stopping in. I'm going to be going to sleep before too long, too, so you won't be missing too much. It'll just be a couple more minutes, and I'll be going back off to the house up at the top of the hill and putting a record on and saying goodnight to the crime family as we ceremonially have to end all videos in the proper way. And that is how it is done. Casually putting 900 leaves on a row, and it's as tall as the Burj Khalifa. No, for sure. You know, I've always imagined myself as a grand kelp architect. Now, I don't know exactly how tall kelp will get, but it's very tall. And it's, of course, as we know, the most useful thing in the world for river production. It's quite impressive how it works together, and then before you know it, it'll just push your whole water level up further than you ever believed possible. So one cool thing about putting water sources on the blocks is when you break the block, the water source is still there, but it can react in very interesting ways when it's in sequence with other things. So water flows, right? And water will flow in a different way from a source down an incline based on the qualities of that incline, right? You know, so if there's verticality to it, it'll go to if there's like a low point, it'll go in that direction. If it's in a certain aspect of distance away or orientation, vertically or whatever, you know. But if you put like blocks out that changes the way that the water is flowing, and then you remove the blocks like so, the water that's flowing, because it's nothing changes about the water and its eventual destination, right? So we can chop all this, and it still wants to go down that incline as if it is still there. And then the kelp can push up the water sources all around it. Which this particular aspect of it was one that I did not appreciate enough whenever I was working on the river, because it actually would speed up things considerably. I had been putting like water on the walls and then like growing the kelp to it and then putting more water on the walls, but here you just push the water down, get rid of the seed area, right, and then you're ready to go. So here we actually need to drop down the water level, or not. We can just pull up the bridge there. It doesn't matter. Most of the villagers probably won't fall down, right? Probably. But a good rule of thumb is if you can't get water to flow through a thing, if you just break the block that the water's on and then the one in front of it, it'll probably work. You can just always break stuff around it and get more water flow. Just going down a little bit is all it takes. It's getting rid of water current and replacing it with sources that the kelp is all about, but increasing water flow is what you need, you know, in order to get the kelp down in the first place. So, definitely happy with how I figured out the sort of buttressing up of the water through the means of these little bridges that we then removed, because it's a whole lot faster than what we had been doing, and honestly, you know, efficient. Because it doesn't take long at all, and then sure, you've got like a crazy current, and if somebody falls into it, maybe bad things would happen to them, but what are they doing in a river anyway? Go home. Oh no! I forgot. Alright, so this, we're not supposed to do that. Fortunately, they're laying in bed and haven't seen that we have broken in to their safe place and rendered them all in terrible danger. Yeah, I think they're fine now. I think they're fine now. Yeah, so that's the way to do it, right? That right there, now we finally figured out the right way to do it. That's how to get water down. You put it high on the wall, and then you just build a lattice of dirt there to push it around to the rest of it, and then that's what you need for your kelp. Oh yeah, it's going to be so much quicker to make a river now that we figured that out. That's how to do it. That's so much better than all the ways I had been doing it. Feel like such a fool. No, I could have been doing it this way ages ago. Well, part of the joy of the project is the learning that I do through trial and error anyway. I know everyone in the world is better at Minecraft than me, so I learn it my own way. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Alright, man. I could do this all day long, but unfortunately, the reality of life calls. We're just gonna put random stuff. They're not the Ender Pearls. We could theoretically want them for something in the future. But there's the river. It's now in genuinely unsafe territory, but hey, the people of the town will be fine, probably. And now that we've figured out how to move it along quicker, it's gonna go so fast. It's gonna go so fast. But we're back home again. Where are my seeds? Oh no. Surely I have one in a shulker. Oh no. Oh no, I can't show up without seeds. This is a disaster. I'm sorry, boss. I'll be right back, boss. Oh, Garuda's not gonna like that. He's not gonna like that one bit. You're not supposed to show up empty-handed. Alright, here we go. A seed for Garuda. Sorry, boss. Won't happen again, boss. Alright. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And as always, we'll close it off with a song here in the record player. We'll do an oldie. This is Cat by C418. I invite you all to sit, stand, or kneel for the national anthem. This is the song we used to listen to all the time in World 343 before we discovered, you know, Creator and Pigstep, which are sort of like my national anthems now, more frequently. But everybody say goodnight to Garuda and Bella and Calcite and Luke as he parties. Anyway, good night, Unlucky, if you're here. Good night, Big Header. Good night, everyone. Really hope you enjoyed. You know, it's just digging a river, but it still feels very full of purpose and very satisfying to do. And I'm already like, I went in the course of this river, from not knowing how to make a river at all, I had made canals, and now, well, I can halfway make a decent river with a halfway decent speed, right? So that's pretty cool. It's both a project that's like really satisfying to me because of how it'll look, and I'm also learning from it, so that's pretty good. And when you consider how long it's been since I built anything at all here, no, it's not fair. We did the floating islands not too long ago, such as they are. I mean, they're not much, right? Cat says good old song though. But anyway, that's all I've got for you guys. All I've got for you today, guys. Man, you'd think as often as I say that phrase, I would be a little better at tripping it off of the tongue. You'd be wrong. But thank you so much. Perhaps I'll see you in another stream or video. Good night, everyone.